All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about our primer. You probably noticed in some of our videos that we're always priming our substrates. It's really important, even though this is a new house built with new materials, they even covered the crawl space with plastic. You still run the risk, especially on wide, varied widths boards, of moisture problems, whether that be from the crawl space coming up or from the inside of the house coming down. So one of the reasons why we always prime our floors and we use the Bona Roll Guard, which comes in red or green, as you're going to see, is because it does a couple different things. It encapsulates your subfloor. So even though we have sanded this floor, we vacuumed it, we tacked it, you're still going to get micro dust. And so what's nice about this stuff is it does kind of wet out your subfloor. It allows your adhesives that you're going to use to have a greater open time. They're not going to flash, not going to absorb into the substrate faster than you really want. So that's why we always recommend doing that. It also is a moisture blocker, so it's going to keep a lot of the moisture from the crawl space, if there is any, coming up through the floorboards, which causes warping and things like that. It's also going to eliminate the moisture, well, prevent a great deal of that moisture from inside the house. Because we have these great big windows, people like their house to be a little humid, and anytime you have a difference between your crawl space and your interior, you're going to have a problem with cupping and things like that. So this is why we always prime it. We want to try to mitigate that as much as possible. And the reason why we specifically like the Bona Roll Guard is because we typically use the Bona Quantum, used to be 851, well it still is, I guess, R851. It stays stretchy, allows wood to move and flex. It also has a moisture protection built into it. It's make sure that you are matching up your primer or your sealer with your adhesive. Unless you are a chemist and have a degree in that, I don't recommend going beyond the manufacturer's suggestion for that. So if you're using Bona adhesives, use their primer. If you're using a different company, use their primer. And that kind of gives you a little bit of peace of mind and stuff like that. So if you look at the directions on the Bona Roll Guard or other primers, they're going to tell you to dip and roll, or you can see people, they'll oftentimes pour and roll. Our favorite method, we'll demonstrate here in a few minutes, is using a magic squeegee. And where we developed that or thought of that was from our epoxy coating. You'll never see necessarily an epoxy coating dipping and rolling. You typically see them pulling a tight coat and then back rolling. And so we do that same method. There's two ways to do it with the magic squeegee. If you pull it, you will get a coverage rate of about 250, maybe 300 square feet. So you don't go quite as far. Where that comes in handy is if you're going to do a floating floor, like a laminate floor or a vinyl floor or an engineered floor that's going to be floating, you're going to want to have a thicker film build because you're not going to be using the adhesive to kind of get you up to where you need to be. So if you're going to just do a typical glue down or a staple down and you need that moisture protection, you're going to want to just push the product with the magic squeegee and then back roll out from there. So we'll demonstrate both of those things. I'm also going to show you some of the products that we use that are available to you if you want to buy them. I'll put the links below in the description so that you're not scrambling all over the internet looking for them. And so I'll show you those. This right here is the magic squeegee that we like to use. They come in all different colors. Just make sure that you remove the plastic before you start using it. As you can see, it's flexible. But these are really nice because it's going to pull a really nice, tight, clean coat as well. And I'll go ahead and list another product that we like to use that will work as well for distributing the material out. Second thing you're going to want is you're going to want two just, painter's poles. Extendable is what you kind of want on those things for ease of use. This is a 18-inch roller rail accessory that holds up your, or rail, I should say. It holds an 18-inch roller. These are available at some Home Depots. Sometimes Lowe's has them. You can get them on Amazon. Again, they come in different colors. You can get red, white, I've seen black, gray. And basically, you're just going to pinch and pull those apart. And that's going to sit inside your roller. So for rolling, And most of the time we're going to use a roller kind of like this. Again, this is just a 3/8 snap roller. You can get these at Home Depot, or I'll put a link in the description for these as well if you don't have a Home Depot nearby or a hardware store. But I'll kind of demonstrate how these go together. So you're going to put the one end in there, put the other end here, and you're going to just push and snap, and it's that easy. Typically we don't wash these out, we just throw them away. There's no real point in trying to save a few dollars there. So anyway, and then they will just click onto your attachment. So, oh, that's a little crusty. So anyway, the other thing that you will probably want, unless you want to destroy your shoes, are a pair of these epoxy spike shoes, and I'll put a link of these as well in the description. These are real handy, you can slip on and off. They don't destroy the floor, they allow you to walk into wet finish or film. This one's a little bit dirty, but basically give you an idea what's on the bottom of these. You could probably get away with soccer cleats as well if you had a pair of those as well. So I'll go ahead and put a link into the description for these as well. So let's get started on that. We're gonna show you, we'll do a little green and a little red. And on this particular floor, we've already vacuumed it, we've swept it, we've prepped it. And so now we're just gonna apply our primer. Stuff really has no smell to it, which is nice. But basically you're gonna start your line and see this is green here. If you like green, totally use that. But hey, if you want to see red, you can do that too. So it doesn't matter whatever color you want. They both do the exact same thing. And so now we're going to have Mr. Garrett demonstrate how to push the material. This is going to get your coverage rate closer to your 500 square feet per gallon. And he's just going to push that around and show you how to do that. Again, don't worry about any lines or any misses from this part of the process. You are simply just going to back roll those out. This is probably the fastest method we found for distributing the material. The dip and roll will work great if you're in a small little room, say 150 square feet or smaller. The dip and roll definitely works. That's where you just pour it into a paint tray, and then you'll back roll the area. The nice thing about the spikes is that it doesn't matter. You can pretty much walk in it at any time while you're applying the product. So I'm going to follow behind him and start back rolling. I'm going to pour a little pile to wet out my applicator, or my roller, excuse me. And this stuff is thin to win because we are going to be applying an adhesive. So now we can demonstrate pulling the method, and it'll leave a little bit more of a film, just lighter on the pressure. But you see the film residue is left over. It's considerably thicker, so like, you know, it's quite a bit thicker than the other stuff, than pushing it. And he's letting up on the pressure. So again, can't go quite as far, but if you're gonna do a floating floor, that's what you'll wanna do. You'll wanna cut the square footage coverage in half at least, and apply a nice film. So that's it. So now in a couple hours that will be dry enough. You can start continuing your installation. I typically like to do this at the end of the day so that it dries overnight, come back the next day, and your floor is sealed and it's ready to go, and saves you a lot of heartache and trouble. So thanks for watching.